Well, hello there. It has been 2 entire weeks since our last stream. Dear Father, I have sinned in between there. It's a wonderful Wednesday night. It's my favorite night of the week, as I've told you previously in the past, like 2.5 Wednesdays ago. I have not had any alcohol in over 3 weeks. 2 weeks. All right, I lied. I had one beer on 808's stream, but that's it. So tonight, I want to introduce you to this. By far has to be my favorite beer in the whole wide world. It's very Irish of me. This is a beer that I got so destroyed on in a park with my good friend Eddie. Oh God, I'm almost crying thinking about this beer. This is Super Soft IPA. Oh my God. When I saw this in the store today, I said to myself, oh, I have to have it. I am going to probably drink an entire case of this. That's how delicious this is. My God, it's super soft. It's, oh, it's chilly. It's cold. It's got a beautiful little bear. Let's crack it open, shall we? It's so soft. Oh, yes. Oh, my God, the memories. Good Lord, it tastes delicious. Jesus, Mariah, this tastes delicious. Shit in 6 is 4. This is good. All right. That's good. All right, let me bring in producer Paul.
Yeah, I seriously didn't think you were going to do that.
I didn't know you were going to click that, and then you did. So
well,
there's that.
I'm already been fired tonight because
I know you dropped the ball. What did I ask
you
to do tonight, Paul? You had one job tonight, Paul. You were to remove the stream from 9 o'clock to 9:30 because we had a conflict with a guest, and you failed to do so. You dropped the ball, Paul.
I mean, I had 2 weeks off. I had a whole 2 weeks off, and I just dropped the ball. I can't.
You did. You really dropped the ball. Good tonight, Paul. That's good. What are you drinking, Paul? You drinking some Czech? Is that some Czech, Paul? What is that?
Bubbly, man. Watermelon.
Bubbly. You know what? I was going to take the route where I had nothing to drink, but then I saw this. I saw this in the store, and I was like, it was like the music. You know, you hear that music, the gospel music. It's like,
There's so much hype around this beer that I want to try it. Because
it's so good, Paul. It's so good. It's so good. It's got like a tropical flavor to it. I can't explain it, but
I didn't think they sold it here in Florida.
I didn't think they did either. I thought this was just a weird thing. Thank you, 808 State, for the $808 super chat.
China.
Shit, I don't know why Trump just said that. I don't know why Trump just said that. I have no idea.
So where did you find that beer?
ABC Liquor actually had the beer. I was actually really shocked when I walked by. I was like, holy shit, there it is.
Well, I thought maybe you were at a grocery store or something, but you were in ABC Liquor. No, what were you doing there?
ABC Liquor. You know why? I went to ABC Liquor because I was just like, last ditch effort. I just figured we'll go there. We'll try it. We'll try to see what they have. And success, they had exactly what I was looking for. So that is pretty awesome. So, man, it's been a busy 2 weeks. Ben T from Austin with the $10 super chat. Ben, thank you very much. Ben, what do we give Ben? Do we give Ben the slot machine? Slot machine?
Yes, do it.
Slot machine for Ben. Slot machine for the Ben for the $10 super chat. That was a $10 pull. I don't know if it paid anything out. Didn't sound like it paid anything out.
Didn't sound like anything. No,
it didn't sound anything. But thank you, Ben, for the $10 super chat. Thank you all for being so patient this evening. It's always fun to get on here and chat, talk, stream. I will tell you, I've been feeling a little bit under the weather as of recent. I've been I've been feeling under the weather, and it's been, you know what it is? I haven't been going to sleep till like 3 a.m. because of just everything, and that's probably catching up to me. Nate Gordon wants the China. He requests $6.03.
3 cents.
3 cents. What a random number. Thank you, Nate Gordon, for the random super chat. He wants the China. We're going to give it to him.
China.
That's such a random number.
All night.
We can do it all night. Sure. We'll take requests. So we've got Mavic Air 2 or Air 2S to talk about. We've got Troy from Quad Standard Labs going to be joining us later on tonight. But boy, has it been a busy 2 weeks. We've had the new release. The Air 2S has finally been announced. I feel like this is a drone we've all known everything about. It's circulating people's hands. And I think for the most part, a lot of people really love this drone. I will tell you myself personally, this is the first GPS drone in a long time that I'm actually excited about flying. For a long time.
That's amazing. Because you've been on this FPV float, and finally something brings you back in to your roots.
Yeah. So it actually has been sort of fun to fly some GPS drones and put the Air 2 through its paces. It's just a beautiful image. It's a freaking beautiful image. Jaron Hathaway says, I've missed months of your Drone Brews live. I don't want China. Okay. Let's see. Paul, dealer's choice. What do we give him? Paul?
I don't know. Rock, paper, scissors it.
I'm going to go with this one. I don't know what this button does.
There you go.
That was a good one. I don't know. We got buttons. We have buttons.
I don't have any cool buttons over here, but.
So if you're just joining us, we are drinking. I'm drinking. Paul is drinking some fizzy shit. I am drinking
orders, bro.
Super Soft IPA. This is Super Soft IPA. This is an absolutely delicious IPA beer. I first found this. I was completely drunk in the park one night with Eddie, Billy, and a couple of other guys, C.R. Darlington and what the hell was it? Ezzy. My boy, my brother from another mother. It was amazing. Paul, it was amazing.
Show him what you have. Show him that can again. Mr.
Can
here.
Super Soft. I feel like I need a twirly thing. So good. I
feel like they need to sponsor you because it's like
oh my god, if Super Soft, if this company, it's called Sloop Brewing. This is the box. It's called Sloop Brewing. If they're out there, if somebody ever finds Sloop Brewing and sends them my way, tell them I love your beer. I love your beer so much. I just want to drink it all. So yeah, man, it's been a good night. So check it out. Air 2S.
That's your first beer, right? I mean,
yeah, it's my first beer.
Okay.
The first one always hits the hardest.
Okay.
Just like women. God, that's terrible. We're back at it, full swing. So Air 2S came out and immediately, just like that, dwarfed the FPV drone news. I feel like nobody's even talking about the FPV drone. But if you are somebody who is flying the FPV drone, I have made something super incredible that I think a lot of people are going to be really excited about. I introduced to you the Lost Mount. Check that out. How cool is that? Paul, what the hell was that?
Jesus, that was my wife probably going crazy in my window to freak me out.
Well, it worked. This is the Lost Mount, and this thing is pretty damn cool. This allows you to keep your phone attached to your goggles, attached to the here, and no tools, and it's super light. So check this out, Paul. You're going to be able to keep your phone in here with this mount. Doesn't take much effort.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So you can have your phone in there. So if somebody's wanting to watch, or let's say, for instance, you don't want to use your goggles, you want to fly line of sight in the GPS mode, you can do that via this. Still allows you to have your antennas up. And here's the best part about this mount. It doesn't require any tools. And check it out. It comes right off. You fold this down, and it comes right off. Clips right on and off.
It's pretty cool.
Takes 2 seconds to go on and install. It's super secure. We're calling it the Lost Mount, which stands for line of sight takeoff mount, right? But also it's lost because the mount was missing in action when they first produced this drone. Or made this. So yeah, pretty cool little thing. That's going to be going up on the Etsy store probably later on this week, maybe tomorrow or something. I think it's going to go. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way this mount turned out. So line of sight takeoff mount will be on the Shop OriginaldoBo store. You can also use it as a stick cam, or you can use it as a Karen cam. You can also attach your GoPro to it, and you can use it as a Karen cam. So if a Karen walks up to you as you're flying, you can catch all the action on your Karen cam. So pretty cool stuff. All right, so Air 2S. Oh, there's Paul's wife. What's going on? Oh,
are you sure you want to jump in like that?
She's all sorts of rare tonight, dude.
Did I scare him? Tell me I did.
Yeah, you scared him. He jumped. I jumped. We all jumped. We all jumped for joy.
It sounded like fireworks right at my freaking door.
I thought something fell in the background. I really thought something fell in the background. I did.
He wasn't expecting me home for like another 2 hours.
Yep. All right.
Sucker. Come on, Ross.
You've got it. You've got it, Paul. You've got the life, Paul. You've got
Get the heck out of my office now.
That's the first time I've ever seen him get like that.
All right.
First time. All right. So, Air 2S, it's out. Right now, my favorite drone. I did sell my Mavic 2 Pro. People have been asking me if I did sell it. I did sell it. I sold it to 808.
I would too if I was in your shoes. I think the Air 2S.
I did. The first couple of flights with it, I started looking at the color science, and I really started looking at everything the Air 2S offered. And the fact that there isn't a variable aperture, an adjustable aperture, didn't bother me, because I started realizing I never adjust the aperture at all. I always film at f2.8, so it never really bothered me. I always put ND filters on. I'm usually using an ND16 or ND8, and with 4K 60, when I'm filming outside, my shutter's like 200 with the ND16. That was good enough for me, so I shipped it.
What do you think about these ND filters that are included with the drone?
I mean, they're good to get you started, right? They're good to get you started, but the glass is super cheap glass. There's a color cast, a slight color cast. It's like a green color cast. They're okay. They're just enough to get you. They're just enough to get you started, I think. But you're gonna want to invest in better glass. You're gonna want to get either some Freewell filters, or you're going to want to grab some Moment ND filters. I hear Moment is going to be producing an adjustable ND filter, so that's going to be something to look into. So for me,
already have stuff out.
I don't think Freewell has stuff out. I know Moment's going to have stuff out pretty soon. I'll probably snag some Moment filters. I've been really digging their products as of late.
Cinebloom, do you have that?
Yeah,
one?
I like the Cinebloom lenses. I just like all the little details in their products, like. I don't get crazy color casts from their ND filters, and their Cinebloom filters work really well. So yeah, I wouldn't use a Cinebloom on a drone, but their ND filters have been proving to work really well. So yeah, I'll probably grab some ND filters for it really soon. I've been filming a lot in D-Log. There is also the HLG profile, which I haven't messed with. I haven't shot in HLG since Sony. Sony was the last time I used HLG, so I haven't used HLG in quite a while. So I'll have to check that out.
It'd be interesting how that HLG matches up with the Sony HLG.
It's not really close. It's not really close. It's a different HLG. It's hard to explain, but it's not the same style of HLG that we're used to, which I thought was interesting. So, but yeah, we'll have to keep seeing as ND filters roll out. I'll keep people updated on that. Let's go ahead and jump into the chat here, and we'll see, because we got a lot of people here. We got Nate Gordon, obviously, Brad Henderson, Dead Shutter NYC, Eddie Nunez, Cryptoman 5000, Captured Life Connection. Good to see you, Steve. We got Michael Matthews, Ray Kelly, Matt Cundiff, Jake's Drone Life, Ray Kelly. Let's see, Kayash. We got Arco Drone Solution, Leonard Oglesby. How's it going? Big Man 2XL. That's a cool name. Clifford. We've got Drone Life RC. I think I said Jaron. Yeah, I said Jaron. Let's see who else we got here. We've got Richard Guranis. I'm gonna fuck that last name up. I know it. I already did. Nick K. Lon, Johnny 5, 808 State. Of course, he texted me. He was wondering what was going on. Rough Dog. So thank you all for joining the stream. Like I said, tonight, as the stream wears on, we're going to have Troy from Quad Standard Labs is going to be joining us. We're going to be talking about sort of his operation, because I find his whole operation to be really, really awesome. He builds quads for a living, and he probably makes some of the best quads that are out there that you can buy ready, like literally ready to fly. And, I guess we can use it commercial ready drones, and just I have one of them on my back wall. Actually, I've got a Shen drone Squirt from them that I use quite often. So we'll talk to him later on in the stream. But Paul, we've got Autel news. We have a Autel smart controller going to be launching in mid-May. So mid-May, we have the Autel smart controller coming out.
That'll be very interesting. I know 808 will be excited about that.
He will be excited. So it's going to enhance the range of the Evo 2. They basically, from the looks of it, from what I see on the smart controller, they basically outdid themselves with this.
I mean, it looks huge.
It does look huge, but I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about the smart controller looking big.
I wouldn't be mad about something big.
It looks good. It looks good. 2,000 nits of brightness. 2,000 nits of brightness. My God.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up here because it's not out yet. Right now, they're only taking pre-orders for it. Let me see if I can go ahead and share the screen here.
Share it up.
Let me see where it's at. Where is it at? There it is. Aha, there it is. So right now, they are only taking pre-orders for this right now. So this is what the smart controller is going to look like. Ergonomically, it doesn't look terrible, Paul. Doesn't look terrible. Dual antennas, much like we saw on the smart controller that we have from DJI, except for these are independent antennas. So paddle antennas, which I can get with. Looks pretty decent, though. Looks like they fold up pretty nice. Looks like it's actually pretty thin, too. Ergonomics, though, I think are going to be much better than the standard controller that Autel has currently today.
The biggest question is,
what's that?
The biggest question is, how are those sticks?
How are the sticks? Hopefully they're removable. Long battery life, 5,800 milliamp hour battery. That's going to last a good hell of a time.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. It's got multiple ports, so it's got HDMI and USB out, which is good. So yeah, I'm excited for this. I can't wait to get this in my hands. Let's take a look at the specs here. The specs, not the sticks, the specs. So it's dual band. Yeah, I know it's a mess. Yeah. 13 is that? Am I seeing 7 kilometers range? Is that what I'm seeing here? FCC says 13 kilometers. I'm seeing CE is 7 kilometers, which is still pretty damn good for those guys over there. But 13 kilometers range, which is nice. It's got the MIMO 2x2 Wi-Fi and the Wi-Fi Direct display. Yeah, that's looking hella good. 128 gigs of internal storage. Stop fucking moving. Thank you. God, I don't know why it does that. Yeah, I mean, so it's going to support Evo 2 series, Evo 2 RTK, and Evo 2 Enterprise. So it sort of sucks. Like original Evo guys, they're not going to be able to take advantage of this, but I think those are starting to slowly but surely fade away, I think. So yeah, looks interesting. I'm excited for it. I should have one very soon.
You should.
I say very soon as like probably maybe next week type of thing. So we'll test that out. I've got another Evo 2 Pro that I'm going to.
I might have to come to you to test that out.
Yeah, we'll have to test it on the 8K, man. I'm thinking it's going to be good. What's going on, Phantom Flight? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. So yeah, I mean,
I can actually travel now, and that's exciting.
Yes, now you're vaccinated. You're a fully vaccinated person.
So I have no excuses for the next meetup, really.
Yes. Big Man says Bot Grinder gave you a shout out today for the Autel in his video. I appreciate that. Bot's a good dude. He deserved that. I saw him having fun. It's always fun to see like hardcore FPV guys, getting a chance to go hands on with a GPS drone, because their thoughts and opinions of things are sort of like it's cool to see how they formulate their opinions. So I thought that was pretty cool in his video.
I think Bot Grinders is, I don't know. That was the first time I met him 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago.
Dude.
Awesome guy. Dude. Awesome guy. So yeah, so we'll give this a go. We're going to give it a go. I'm excited, man. It's nice to see Autel. Like, I wouldn't say this is innovation, but it's nice to see them producing something new. Now, the price point of $1,200 is a bit steep. I think that's steep because the DJI smart controller is $799 or $699, depending on where you purchase it at. I don't know. pretty.
Yeah, it's interesting. Autel always has been lately upping the.
Yeah, they've been really upping the price a lot lately.
When originally when the Evo came out, it was like what, like $300-$400 more than the Pro 2 was, right?
Yeah, just about.
I mean,
so, and I sort of feel like they should have put out a different product or a new product here, to combat the Air 2S, because the Air 2S is just like you want to talk about something just cutting the throat of Autel sales. I mean, here you have a drone that can shoot 5.4K, 10-bit, up to 30 frames per second internal, and I had no issues with it whatsoever. It just worked right out of the gate. The log footage grades absolutely beautifully. I mean, the color grading on the Evo 2 Pro, or the I should say the Air 2S, is absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely
plus
phenomenal.
The price point. I mean, you just for all that, and then being like, I mean, I'm sorry, they really need to come out with something that's more competitive, not only feature wise but price wise too.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not gonna disagree with that. I mean, my biggest issue with the Evo has always been the color science. The log footage has always been really difficult for me to work with personally. Again, that's just me though. Like, that's my gripe with that. Everybody's going to be a little bit different when it comes down to what they like or what they want to see out of a drone's camera. But I just feel like, I don't know. I still feel like they sort of dropped the ball a little bit with the footage. I'm trying to find the footage. I've been saving all the footage that I've been getting out of the Air 2S, and I'm gonna just let me take a look at this. I want to see something here. I'm looking. Is it gonna let me? There we go. Oh, it's gonna. Did it lag? Am I lagging, Paul?
No, I don't think so.
I did. You see that? Is that weird? It feels like I'm moving in slow motion.
It looks normal on my screen.
It looks normal on your screen, but I'm looking at online and it's not. I don't know. It feels like I'm lagging or something.
I can't tell online because there's no. I don't know how I can't hear the audios.
I don't know. Maybe it's fine. I think for a moment there, I think it lagged. I feel like my lips are Chinese as hell. Like it's doing the Chinese thing. Is that me? Son of a bitch. Something is just like, so my computer has been bogging down tremendously.
What computer are you using?
I'm using my main rig, man. It's just, I don't know. Lately, it just sucks. I don't know what it was. That just seems weird.
Oh man,
I felt like everything was going Chinese, and it's hot as hell in here. You know what it is? I've got printers going, I've got a computer going, and it's just hot as shit in here.
Oh gosh, I can only imagine with all those friggin' printers going off.
Yeah,
but hey, look at this, man. My internet must be working really well today because my image doesn't look that bad as it normally does. I mean, do you see that?
What do you want a cookie, Paul?
I mean, I want to pat Spectrum on the back today because they're making.
Spectrum is going to get my foot up my.
Or sorry, not ass. Spectrum. Whatever.
Bright House. Is Bright House Spectrum? No, it's Spectrum.
Oh, it is Spectrum. Yeah.
You know what it was, Paul? I was just importing a. I was importing. I'm opening Premiere Pro right now on my machine here, and I'm importing some footage, and it's 5K footage. And I noticed upon import, my machine just completely wigged out on me. I'm just wondering if it's the footage.
Maybe you're bogging it down with doing multitasking things.
Oh yeah. That's what it is. Look at me. I'm lagging, Paul.
You're lagging like crazy there.
You see that? That's the 5K footage taxing my computer. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Didn't anybody ever tell you to not do footage while you're streaming?
Yes, I know this, but I want to try to make a point. Wow. That's how much 5K footage just wrecks your shit, Paul.
Chris Reinhardt, I do want a cookie. Do a super chat so I can buy one, even though I probably won't see that money.
Wow, you will never see that money, Paul. It's in the mail. Good Lord, Paul. This is terrible. This is the worst. This is the worst I've ever seen this computer lag. And this is just looking at 5K footage, Paul. 5K
Crazy.
footage.
5K footage is wrecking your computer?
5K footage is wrecking Premiere Pro out the ass.
Premiere Pro sucks, but yeah, I mean the 8K footage from the Evo destroys my computer. I'm sure. I mean,
well, it's
but
you know what's
5K
funny? It's not even like really 8K footage though. It's like 4K. It's 4K.
It's like faux K,
4K. It's not real. It's not real footage.
not real
It's
8K.
not real. It's not really 8K footage, Paul. Not
Well,
real.
dang it, dude! I got all excited that you gave me an 8K drone, and now it doesn't even do 8K. You're telling me
No,
it's
it doesn't. No,
4K?
Paul. It's 4K, Paul. It's just fake. It's fake 8K.
I mean, isn't 8K supposed to be better than the 6K? I mean, come on.
Sure, Paul. Whatever you want. Whatever is going to help you sleep at night. What I'm doing here is I'm trying to bring in some footage here. I want to do like some color grading on this, just to talk about how well this footage color grades. But my computer is just having a shit fit over here. Good. I don't get it, man. All right, let me try this again. Let me see if I can share this screen out.
Jake Sloan in the house.
Jake Sloan's in the house. Okay, Paul. Okay, Paul. Let me see. Is this going to let me share this out? All right. So let's take a look at some clips here. So I shot these 10-bit 420 internal. So it's 5K, 5.4K, these clips here. But you know what? I just want to showcase how well this color grades, though. You can grab almost any universal LUT that you want it to grade this, and it's going to grade beautifully.
I will tell you that I was on Jake Sloan's channel before this one, and he showed some amazing footage that he color graded from the Air 2S, and it looked
I love this. I love this. And it's just so well balanced. Like the Lumetri scope, if you look at Lumetri, how well balanced it is. And it doesn't take much to grade this. You just lower the shadows a little bit. You raise your highlights up just a tad. You can add like a little bit of an S curve in here.
Man, that's how log footage should be, man.
This is how it should be. Add a little bit of saturation. Like with this one, I think 135. Like 135 is more than enough for me. And then what I like to do for my footage is in the highlight areas, I like to push it up to like a little bit to the red in the highlights to try to give it like a warmer look, because this does have a cooler look to things. So push it up there, and then the shadows I'll take down to the blues. Give it like sort of that little orange and teal look. And then sometimes what I'll do is I'll just knock the contrast back a twat hair. So little before, after. And I think that looks perfect. Just like that. Like this is great footage. Just D-Log itself out of the Air 2S performs so effortlessly. I love it. Like this clip right here, I feel like overcast days are the hardest days to work with. Check this out though. Like this is just bonkers how well this is. You throw a little S curve in there, just super easy. And then add a little bit of saturation to see where you're at. And then same thing, what I'll do is I'll just grab some HSL secondary just for the blues and just knock some teal in there. And then
so while you're on this color grading topic, we have a question from Brad Henderson. He says, what's a good universal LUT to get started here for color grading?
To get started, I mean, best universal LUTs that I've seen so far is going to be Triune Films. They make some of the best universal LUT packs that I would highly recommend going to check out. So Triune Films, it's a full LUT pack. They have technical LUTs. They have LUT looks. It's probably the best value. You get so much for the money. For the money, you get a lot for it. So my recommendation, Triune Films, their LUT pack is amazing. So I would highly recommend checking them out, just because it's that good. Like it's really that good.
I think we're getting close to that time where we have a special guest joining us.
Yeah, it looks like I see Troy's here. We're just waiting for him to come back, and once he's back, sitting in his lab, there he is, right there. I see him. He's rushing back. He heard it. All right, Paul. I'm going to switch over to the look, and we're going to add Troy from Quad Standard Labs. Troy, man, thanks for joining us, man.
What up? Hey, guys. How are y'all?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Thanks for coming on such short notice. But I recently watched that that's sort of like, I wouldn't say it was documentary, but the interviews the guy's been doing with you guys at your shop. Impressive. It's impressive stuff.
Thanks, man. Yeah, that actually, speaking of, short notice, which, man, you gave me plenty of notice, not to worry. That actually, funny enough, was just kind of something Anthony reached out to me last year. I was just literally in the shop for like 2 weeks. And we actually got into the shop like 2 weeks earlier than we expected. So it was funny that it all just worked out. But that was awesome to shoot. It was kind of the first time I've ever had anybody like want to follow me around,
So for people that don't know what you do, give us a rundown of what Quad Standard Labs does.
So we do quite a bit, and I say we. I do have people that work for us or with us, is what we like to say. I have a couple of guys that are contract guys that come and do different things, but at the forward-facing part of what Quad Standard Labs as a brand represents is a professional FPV kind of one-stop, like, let's get everything we need and learn how to apply this, or for a professional already applying it and knows what they're doing, to take the load off of them as far as having to do any of the building and testing and tuning, the stuff that yes, at one point was the skill set that you had to do this, but now having, affording the creators and the people that can shoot stuff like that, like getting that off their plate. So,
Gotcha.
In a better way of saying it, we're a professional FPV store that, provides tools at whatever level, from, Cine whoops and micro stuff, naked heroes, all the way up to Cine lifters, and working within the community and with the other people in the community that are actually creating and applying the tools, because if I'm not a professional shooter, I don't know anything really about actual how cameras operate and what to set focal lengths to, but we can build drones and we can repeat the way we build them really well, and we can network with the right people and find the right tools to make it work. So that's what we do at the base.
What would the drone? I think probably some of the most well-known drones you were known for, I would say, is probably the Chandrone Thix, the Cine lifters. I would say I see quite a few of those from you all in people's hands. These are quads that can obviously lift a camera like a full-size DSLR camera, and you have to be building these reliably, because obviously if you're going to put a $2,000 and sometimes $10,000 camera on a drone like this, you have to know it's going to be reliable. So what sort of is your process as it goes in through building this to ensure the reliability? Because I see you flying with, what is it? Is it mock red cameras? Is that what you guys are doing?
Yeah. So we are actually an official red integrator. We also get red stock of red cameras through a distribution channel. So we're also a reseller. And the reason we did that was, at the end of the day, we want to provide, again, that holistic standard solution, like you said. And as far as, what we're doing, as far as our processes and stuff, at the heart, again, kind of at the brand, the standardization of building, we try to, whenever possible, build everything the same. Even if it is a Cine lifter, most of our Cine lifters get built same hardware, very similar hardware throughout. Using all the same techniques and all the same things. What that does is just isolates any, building errors, which, in early days of building stuff, when I first started the company, I would build with different things for different, a lot of different things, a lot of different ways. And just lots of mistakes can happen that way. Even with the best builders, you forget you're using this pin out and not that pin out. And so just standardizing everything just at the first part makes the build cleaner every time, because repeating the build process every time, you're only going to get better at it. So repetition, choosing the right parts, putting them on these things, flying the heck out of them. So everything gets test flown with heavier payloads than what we recommend as the maximums. Okay. We also take these things, and the chef PV in me comes out. So before Quad Standard Labs, I was doing YouTube and other stuff as my own kind of pilot handle, chef PV. So I know how to rip. It's the only way I know how to fly is to really push these things. So I go out and for instance, we'll take an insider and we'll put 1,400, 1,500 grams on it, where we try to tell people to keep it to 1,000 or 13 if they can at the most. You can put 1,600 on it, and I can tell you that because I've done it. And you can go flip it and roll it. It's going to hate it every minute, and it's going to take every bit of juice.
Yeah,
and
no doubt.
Get much flight time, but we test them that way. So when people take them on set and fly them low and slow, or however they're going to fly them, which with like an insider, that's what they're going to do, is they're trying to be around talent. They're not trying to rip. They're just trying to get those shots they have to get with the big camera.
So the insider, now this is a quad blade setup. This is obviously not something that's running 8 motors, right?
Yeah, funny you have that right there. Let me actually just switch my camera. I'm actually working on one.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah, right here. So, yes, it is a ducted quad motor.
Wow, look at that duct. Holy shit, that's huge.
It runs basically a 4-inch prop. So we run a Dahl 40 whatever, like 4052.
Wow, that's massive.
Bullnose, those old ghetto props we used to use and think were the best tree cutting props in the world. Remember these? So yeah, so that's that. And just to give you, well, I don't have one on me. I was gonna say I could show you a squirt in comparison, but basically, a squirt's gonna fit inside these motors.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
So people see it sometimes and they're like, "Oh, that's just a really big 5-inch squirt," and I'm like, "No, it's kind of crazier than that."
It definitely is. Now I love the way that's laid out. I love how the air unit is sitting up front there. Now I see you're using the air units. Now are you having issues with the air units? Because I notice a lot of times people, it's a secret sauce to keep these things running, obviously on 6S.
Yeah.
So
man,
what's your secret sauce to making that work? I mean, don't give it all away, but
no, I mean, I'll tell you this. Like, I mean, it goes back to this reliability factor. It's kind of the same thing you asked a minute ago. I'd say the other thing that I didn't say yet would be the number of builds we build. And because we build them identical, because we always use the same techniques, and because we just, we're confident in what we choose to build these things with and how, we have not seen really any issues with much. Every time we've ever had an in-house kind of issue with, something failing, it's 99.9% of the time retraceable to something we did wrong. It's still at the build table, right? And so I don't know. There's no secret sauce. I mean, this one right here is actually running the internal board on the Mavic HD F7. And we've now built Thicks and some Sicarios and some Insiders, and none of them have failed. Specifically, this HD plug-and-play board, I would say is the first one I've trusted, and the reason why is if you look at it, it actually is not. It's not using additional regulation added to an already designed architecture. They actually put thought into this, where they basically said, if we're going to put a BEC dedicated to the air unit, we're going to actually just replicate that on the board. So they didn't change anything about how they're already. So if you look at this board, it literally looks just like it has a BEC. If you look at their Mavic BEC, it just looks like it's just on the flight controller. So
makes sense.
If I'm going to use that to bypass, any other board's flight controllers onboard stuff, why would I do that with this board? So again, the reason we trust this one is because we trust the regulator that we usually use, which is the Mavic little Mavic 9-volt regulator. So I don't know. Does that mean that like one of our birds hasn't had a bad regulator? Absolutely not. We've had one client that I know of that did have a bad iFlight regulator, I think was on theirs. And that same day, we actually had an issue with a Mavic regulator. But again, on our end, we were able to prove something on our end was done wrong. On the other build, we it was actually in Dubai, so I couldn't really like troubleshoot it. They just put a new regulator on it, and we haven't had an issue since.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. We don't have any of the video issues, man. I have videos up on our channel that talk to some of these things. So
that's always a concern. Like I think a lot of people have when you start mixing 6S with these air units is, am I going to have a problem? Is the bird going to fall out of the air? What essentially could go wrong, if anything at all. So
right. Yeah, no, I mean, at the end of the day, I will tell you this. I mean, if you're doing this, even with the most perfect build and you've test flown
something's
it,
gonna happen.
yeah, I mean, something can always happen. It's funny because Benoit in one of the groups yesterday said something about he flies them at least 20 times with a dummy weight before he even thinks about putting a camera on it. And we don't go to 20. I fly every build at least somewhere between the number of, like, if it's a 5-inch, it gets, or a squirt 3, to about 5 to 7. But I mean, we have tunes, and again, if I drop the tune on this thing that I know should work and it doesn't work, then we don't go and spend a day tuning. We spend a few hours diagnosing what we did wrong or what component is maybe not right. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
And so we don't spend a lot of time doing that, because at the end of the day, we don't have those mistakes. So narrowing your ability to make those mistakes, I think, is where
now.
Yeah.
You also make builds not only for obviously Cinelifters, but I also see you have a drone that I find to probably be one of the most interesting quads that you produce, and it's the Shen drone Hydrophobe. It's a waterproof 5S, 6S drone, $600, ready to go. This thing looks wild. Looking at it on the screen here, I mean, this thing just looks absolutely nuts. I mean, let me see if
yeah, I mean, I can't take any credit for the looks or anything other than we build them the way we build them. But at the end of the day, yeah, this is just another one of those tools, right? So the funny thing about this is when people ask me, I want a 5-inch drone, what do you recommend? Whether they're a beginner or somebody looking to get great shots, like that's been doing this for a while, I almost always tell them this, and it's because it's so durable, man. Like, it's not even the aluminum plate. The aluminum plate can actually get bent if you crash it too hard, but you can technically bend it back. But the aluminum plate is an entire heat sink, so you're able to enclose everything inside, which, man, I mean, a guy like me knows this, and we know people used to do this back in the day with their ZMRs, is a tree branch would take out a flight controller like crazy. Right. I mean, the first time you put your thing through a bush or something, it just always would eat something. So, you know, even a beginner could get use out of the fact that everything's closed up. The waterproofing, I mean, it's water resistant out the box the way we send it. We send it with glue, and we send you with a video that you can watch that shows you kind of how to waterproof it. But again, I can't take credit for anything other than we just build them and send them out, and they're tuned and tested and stuff. Andy and Gab, man, like the stories behind every platform here, go to shindrones.com and read the blog. Shindrones.com is actually the blog site, and then he has, you know, the shop that's attached to it. But man, Andy basically writes novels about how these things all come about.
It's crazy. His products are absolutely insane. His frames are nuts.
Is one of the crazier ones, right? I mean, he developed a drone to go collect whale snot, you know, that Gab had to go collect whale snot with a drone. And then that turned into the everyday flyer that Gab wanted. And then now it's kind of what we recommend as the everyday flyer.
I just see a lot of people flying the Hydrophobe, and they have good luck with it. Obviously, you're not going to be like torrential downpour flying, but you know, if it's misting or it's snow or whatever the case may be, you're not going to have too many issues. And that heat sink is honestly a godsend. I never would have thought, until I started seeing Pyrodrone do this, they're putting heat sinks at the bottom of their builds, and I'm thinking, like, why would you do that? But it makes a lot of good sense. It makes a lot of good sense why a heat sink would be there. It's, you know, it's passive cooling. It's passive cooling. We do that on computers as it is.
Well, so I mean, it's the air unit, really. I mean, nothing else really needs the heat sink. I mean, I don't think if you're using the right ESCs, you shouldn't be needing the heat sink for ESCs. It's definitely those air units that, man, you know, once they start getting hot, you know, funny things happen. And when you're trying to shoot something and you're waiting to be told, you know, go, sitting there powered on is probably, you know, going to heat up a little bit. So.
Gotcha. No, I'm definitely digging it, man. I'm digging the store. I'm digging what you guys are doing.
Well, I appreciate it, man.
You have, so let's see, you guys have your own little corporate office, little deal going on there. I see. I'm going to make sure too, we'll link the video that you guys did down below so people can see the tour of the place. It's really impressive. Thanks, you guys got your own print lab. You've got your own research development, looks like, going on in there. And then you have your assembly. How many quads do you guys crank out a week?
Right now, I mean, do you want to see? I can show you.
Yeah. Let's take a look, man.
Yeah, let's take a walk. Let me grab. I gotta grab this camera thing that I have for my phone, but I'm pretty sure I can select my phone as a camera real quick. Let's try this.
I have no idea what you're using, but I need whatever it is you have.
It's called Epoch Cam. Yep.
Oh man, okay, this is pretty cool.
Let's see if I can change my audio to Epoch. I don't know. That's the one thing. I don't know if it's going to let me do Epoch. We'll see. All right. I don't think it's going to. You may not be able to hear me, but I'll take you around. Just point out some stuff. I'll be right back. All right. So,
so right now, going on a tour.
Headquarters here.
Okay, so all the parts, frames, looks like it's all organized. Those are slam squirts. Nice.
So that's this week's builds.
Dude, I'm digging it.
That's this week's builds.
So slam squirts. I'm seeing that's becoming a trend.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, sorry that we can't get the audio. I'll have to figure that one out next time for the next time.
No worries, man.
But
that was good enough.
Yeah, so I would say on average we're building no less than 5 drones a week, but my guy right now we're averaging 8 to 9 builds. He's pushing out a week. And you know, we have right now 28 builds in process. Like
wow. What's the turnaround time when somebody goes to Quad Standard Labs right now, they click the order button? How long does it take typically for a build to get processed? What's the lead wait time? Because I think this is important.
I should have told you not to ask me this. So it's a complicated answer right now because of the DJI stuff, right?
Doesn't have to be. I know, because the reality is I think a lot of people don't get, like, getting certain chipsets is a pain in the ass right now. Getting air units is a pain in the ass right now.
Yep. So we're out of air units. So of those 20-something builds we have right now, I think about 7 of them have air units right now. We have over 30 air units on order right now that we're just waiting for allocation on. We don't know what's going to happen, right? The thing is, we can't slow down. So we're telling every customer up front that asks, you know, if they ask, like, do you have the air units? We're like, no. We have standing paid orders though, so we just need them to come. We're still building your drone and it'll be ready for the air unit. You're not going to find the air unit or a build anywhere else anyways. So at the end of the day, all we can do is continue to take the orders. Right now, we have not been delayed by air units. If I don't get any in the next 3 to 5 days, we might not be able to hit some of the 15 business day windows. So right now, it's 15 to 20 business days. It's probably going to be 20 within the next couple of days. But right now, it's about 15 business days, so 3 weeks.
So I got to ask you, how much did your ass pucker when you heard that DJI was possibly not going to produce these any further? They've obviously cleared that up, but did that make you go shit? Like, you know, like, what do you do? Like, what do you lean on at that point?
I don't ever buy into that first day hype stuff like that, man. Like when everybody freaked out that first day, I put my head down. I called my distributor. I mean, you know how this works. You call the distributor. I need air units. How many do you have? We've got 662. Okay, cool. Give me 10. You know what I mean? Like, got 10 more. We fulfilled all our orders in a few. Couple days go by, we started hearing rumors of stuff. Called the distributor. Hey man, what's up? I need air units. We got 535. Okay, cool. Give me 25. You know what I mean? Waited a week or so. And, you know, last week.
Do you think that panic is what, you know, why they're out? It's not because they're not producing them. It's just because of the sheer panic that people thought they weren't going to be available.
I think that there's some old stock lying around. So
sure.
What I'm getting at is I think for the first week or two, this last couple of weeks, we've been getting some old stock. And I'm speaking specifically of air units, by the way. Goggles and radios, I don't think are going to be affected much. I think they're coming. I think it's still just restocking issues with, you know, the demand of the FPV drone and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, the air unit, we know the camera is supposedly kind of EOL. Like, it's just kind of this limbo. It's a weird chipset. We don't have it. Cadix is going to apparently provide cameras for the air units, is what we hear. So, you know, if they're going to produce air units and produce Cadix cameras, I'm okay with the Nebula Pro camera. I've used it. It's pretty much like the DJI main cam.
Right.
So I'm cool with that. I mean, so that's where my hopes and my dreams are, right? Until somebody tells me that's not going to happen, that's where I worry. I mean,
I never use Air units. I'm a Vista guy, so it's like for me, I'm like, fuck, I don't care.
Yeah, at the end of the day, though, my clients, they won't care if it's the Vista, the original, or the Nebula Pro or whatever, because it's the digital part that matters. Yes, that incredibly crisp picture does make it that extra go, but for everybody else, it's about the penetration, the connection, and the clarity that's still there with even the worst camera on Vista, you know?
Right.
So hopefully Vista saves the day. The one thing is I hate the idea of shifting to a Vista. I don't want to build anything with a Vista that I don't have to. So if my goal again is I want to still get Air units. Hopefully they just sell us those $99 Air unit boxes. I can buy Nebula cameras by themselves for $50, and we can make a, $150, Air unit Pro, Air unit Nebula or something.
Yeah, that would be hype if they did end up doing that. I think that would be cool. I know I got sort of tweaked when I saw that. I mean, but I'm a Vista guy. Like that's all I rock because of weight distribution, but I'm not traveling at a distance. So, I don't need that, that redundancy of two antennas essentially with the type of stuff that I'm doing. But I can understand why, as somebody rocking a cine lifter or something, you would want that somewhat of, I guess, the redundancy there,
I mean, some people would argue against it. Like the funny thing is Freybot, if we had Phil Freybot on here right now, he'd tell you he builds everything with a Vista. He trusts the Vista more than the Air unit because of its voltage. And
I agree with him there on the voltage aspect.
But that's where I would again say, I don't know. We don't have voltage issues. So you have those issues and you switch to Vista and you don't care about its deficiencies, which the Vista has huge deficiencies. If you want to live stream out of it to your smart controller, like a lot of professionals want to, you have to turn temp control off. So you're just sitting there cooking the damn thing. Even with temp control off, it overheats. It basically sits there and overheats and shuts down anyways. So like it's just not conducive to hydrophobe, to sitting on set waiting for whoever to say go. Like, what if, oh shit, plug it in after I arm it. Don't plug it into the smart control until after, you know what I mean? Like, that's just, I can't deal with that for clients. So
it almost is saddening that DJI hasn't produced a second unit. Obviously, I feel like the demand is somewhat there, or allowed partners to license out the software hardware aspect of it, so that way we can have something a little bit more relevant, a little bit more pro, because from what it seems, I don't see anybody within arm's reach of what they have right now. I mean, SharkBite just isn't there. From the testing that I've done with it, I've not been very impressed.
Have you played with it?
Yeah.
You played with it?
Yeah, not impressive. Not impressive.
See, you're one of you. Then you would add to the list of growing reasons why I haven't messed with it. People. The crazy thing is this. Guess how many people have asked me to put one in one of their drones?
Probably a lot.
Zero.
Zero?
I've
Really?
had nobody call me up and go, "Hey,
shocked.
Troy, you know what I need right now? I need a Cinelifter with SharkBite."
It's almost like they took analog and made it a lot more inconsistent, if that makes sense. Like there's bright spots with it where I'm like, oh shit, this actually looks pretty good. And then a blink of an eye, I'm like, oh crap, that got really bad really quickly.
Yeah, I'd lie to you if I said we haven't talked about it. I had a whole 30-minute conversation. I think it was just last night with an engineer we're working with on another project that we keep coming back to. We need digital, but we also need something like we have to be able to do something with it. And I can't say, but we're trying to do something with digital video, but we can't do it with DJI because it's just impossible, because we can't, like you said, I can't access what's coming out of the damn Air unit and do something with it the way I want to, right? But with a SharkBite, we think we can do what we want to do, just because the way the system is actually already currently built. And so we've had but literally the end of that conversation went like this. Yeah, but I don't want to put money down on it yet, because I can't invest in it because I just haven't seen anyone endorse it. Like, give me one client to call me and ask me, Troy, if you build me a thick with a SharkBite, I'll pay you for it. I would do it. I'll do it just to test it. But I'm not putting my money up to test it, not yet. So
yeah, I can understand that. I mean, that's sort of where I'm at with it. I'm like, if it wasn't somebody else's, I wouldn't have went out of my way to test it and try it. Just because I'm on DJI and I'm perfectly satisfied with that. I mean, inevitably somebody's going to come out with something that will be on par with DJI eventually. When, who knows, or what, who knows. But I think, somebody is working on making something that will come close. It's just a matter of who and what and when we actually see that. But until that point, I guess, it is what it is, unfortunately. But
I mean, I actually don't think we're that far away. I mean, that's the other interesting thing is, you look at it like this, like what we did already with analog will happen again in the same cyclical cycle, the same cycle, but with digital. So
sure,
like you just said, like we're going to hit a threshold where making digital VTXs that are low latency and receivers low latency that we can then apply in this way will happen. It's just where will the high end side of our industry already be by then, right? So
right.
I do think it'll trickle back down into the hobbyist form and over the years in the next few years, because like you said, in fact, the Shark Bite system might just be the first one to really. I mean, there's an OpenHD code, right, or a hardware build I think right now that's open source, but Shark Bite, if it ever just got abandoned and given to the public too, that could basically kind of help spark something like this. But again, at the end of the day, what we really do need is people to not invest in like, hey, let's create this whole thing, but to find technologies that work for their applications now and get to work with those companies closer. So I'll give you a perfect example. Everybody and their mom right now wants to live broadcast from an FPV drone. I get
100%
literally calls from across the globe almost daily that are people like, hey, we hear that you can build us a drone that can broadcast. And I'm like, hold on. I can build you a drone that can carry whatever the hell you want to carry. Like, tell me what you want to carry and give it to me if it's something really customized and we can build around it. Absolutely. But they keep seeing what Gab has done and other people do live, and they think that there's this piece of hardware that I can sell them that allows them to live broadcast. And that's where, at the end of the day, it comes down to there's gatekeepers for that stuff. Basically, you need a broadcast truck and you need a broadcast team and you need people that are using all of this RF wireless technology in ways that is broadcasting all kinds of things. And the little FPV drone that gets a little backpack to go fly has to take whatever they get and go put it on it and go fly. So, I need a company like RF Wireless or, one of these companies that works directly with them that hires RF Wireless to say, hey guys, we want you to work with Troy to build us a drone. Not, hey, Troy, I'm going to give you a vague idea of what we're going to put on here and y'all kind of build something around it.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, like I think same thing with digital and video links. Like if that's something for an application that a company thinks they can use, they need to find another company that kind of like Shark Bite. Shark Bite was just DiviMath's already product that was being developed for actually Pixhawk drones and ArduPilot drones that before it got abandoned. So, again, we can bring this stuff together in ways. We just got to have other companies invest in it.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting time. I think the future is really bright. I think it's going to get better. I mean, a lot of people think it's grim. I think it's really bright. I'm seeing what you guys are doing there at Quad Standard. I've been watching very closely, thinking to myself, the next proverbial step for myself is a center lifter to up my game for what I do with my clients. So I know for a fact, I know you told me, you're like, just build one, dude. It's fun to build one. I don't want to build one because I don't trust myself. You know what I'm saying? I've never built one. I don't trust myself. So I know when I'm ready to pull the trigger on one, my money is going to go to you, because I'm not saying it's foolproof, but I just know that I have a better success rate of protecting a $3,000 camera than if I build it myself and I'm like, oh shit, I had an accident. At least I know that it was built the same way. I think consistency, and I think this is something that a lot of people don't get all the time. I think when people get into FPV, they bounce around from build to build to build to build, and there is no consistency about what they're doing. So when they have things that happen, they can't track down the variables to understand where they need to start troubleshooting. So that's where I admire what you guys there, because I've seen successful build, and I'm in the groups and I read and I watch and I've seen it. And I own a Shendrone Squirt from you guys.
Yeah.
And I've had literally zero issues with that build. Now I build one. I tried replicating one because I needed a second one, and it flies like dog shit compared to what I got from you. So
thank you.
there is, you know, you say there isn't a secret sauce. I say there is, because I think it comes down to that consistency of knowing the components that go into your build to really tune it around the chassis of what it is. So people ask me all the time. I had a guy call me yesterday, and he's like, hey, I'm looking for a Cinewoop. I'm wanting to fly inside. And everybody's first reaction when they think of Cinewoop, I want an iFlight Bumblebee. And I'm like, and I'm screaming at my phone, no, just no. Because no, if you want something that flies well but doesn't quite fly like, you know, a Cinewoop, honestly, a squirt is the best option to go with. And with the options of a slam squirt or the standard squirt, you have options to go with based upon what ducts you choose. So I've floated quite a few people over that way. Whether or not the air units are available, I know that eventually somebody will be flying, you know, a QSL quad, because again, it's about the experience, and I think that's what people don't understand when they buy from like iFly. I'm not knocking iFly because they do things, but it's just, again, it's like the little attentions to details that I got when I got my quad was like, I can see it in the build quality, the way it was put together. There was like thought. It wasn't just something to throw plastic at it. It made sense. If, you know, I don't know. It's hard to say.
No, man, I appreciate it. Thank you for recognizing that. I mean, that's kind of what we do, is, you know, that's why we're doing what we do, is to make sure that, you know, whenever you get what you get, it works. And look, I mean, we've sent stuff out and it's not worked. I mean, I got 2 drones back this week that we sent out that, you know, clients had issues with. We paid for them to come back to us, and we'll pay for them to get fixed up back to where we want them. One of them we actually already identified it, a cap blue, I guess. I don't know. I've never seen it. I mean, the client didn't even notice, and they worked on it.
Right.
The capacitor has like a little bit of a bow in the back of it and a little bit of discoloration. And then, like, I opened it up and I looked at it, and I'm like, I never seen that issue before, but we'll pull the cap off. We'll put another one on. We'll go test fly the heck out of it, 3, 4, 5 packs, and, you know, log it and see what happens. And we should see that it's fixed. And if not, we'll pull it apart and we'll figure it out.
See, but that's the difference of somebody going with a QSL, you know, quad, is that you're going to get, you know, a lot of times when you're buying a drone from these manufacturers, and again, I'm not trying to knock any of these manufacturers, but there's
we sell some of their pre-made stuff sometimes.
Sure. But there's a common denominator, is the support aspect of things. I know if I had a problem with my squirt, I could have messaged you and said, hey, you know, this is fucking up. What can I do? And you would have at least walked me through it. And if I wasn't capable of fixing it, which a lot of people that are thinking about a Cinewoop, they're, you know, it's maybe their first quad. They don't really know. They don't have the capacity to fix things. They can always send it back in for repair. And that, I think, is a huge thing. But like I said, I had one issue with my squirt. I hit a tree and I got the duct bound in the motor, and I burnt the motor up. No big deal. Yep. The motors are easy enough to get. Those they're the Brother Hobby motors. I mean, bulletproof motor. Throw another motor in, and it's running like a top. Like, I have zero issues.
This is the thing. Had you just told us that you burnt a motor out, so yeah, we have refresh, and, you know, we offer it for every drone. Some of our Cinelifters are included with it, but refresh basically is it's $75 usually for like a 5-inch or a Cinesquirt or something. If you get that, then you basically ship it to us. We'll repair it for the cost of the parts, no labor, and we'll, you know, ship it back to you at your cost.
That's awesome.
You can basically get it fixed as if you fixed it for, you know, it's $15 to ship a squirt priority. So if you know, $30, you send it to us. Plus, let's say it's a frame. You hit that tree, you broke a duct, or let's say it's a motor. You broke the duct and you need a motor. The motor's $16, $30 to ship it back and forth. So for $46, I'll throw the TPU in. I'm not going to charge you for TPU. And you get it back for $46. And maybe it takes 4 or 5 days, you know, not total, like not here, like you ship it to me today. I'll have it for a day or two.
You're probably looking about
You'll
8-9 days turnaround,
Yeah.
but the reality is you're getting it fixed. It's back the way it was working. If you're not
And
capable of fixing it, you know.
For you, I would have just shipped you a motor for 16
Yeah,
bucks.
I didn't. It's funny story though. Brother Hobby hits me up one day and they're like, oh, we want to send you some motors. Well, what do they send me? They send me those 3100 motors, and I'm like, yes, I'll take these because I was just getting ready to click order. So I'm like, I burn them up.
If you get the refresh, you don't have to send it to us. Like if you pay for refresh, call, or even if you don't pay for refresh, like call us up, message us, hey man, burnt out a motor, some TPU. And again, we'll bill you for just the cost of the parts. We'll send it to you with some instructions. So maybe it's a video, maybe if it's a flight controller, it'll come with a piece of, the flight controller printout, and it'll even have the hand drawn out, like connect here, connect here, connect here. That way, when you get the board, even if you're a proficient person, like you don't have to go online and find the wiring diagram. Like it's there. So refresh helps whether you're sending us your drone or you want us to help you with your drone. You're kind of prepaying for like that 2 hours of support you're going to need from me at some point.
Yeah, I can dig it, man. And that's why I said, like, I appreciate what you guys do. And that's why I want to have you on, because I keep getting asked the question twice, 3 times a week, where should I buy my quad from? I want to get a Cinewhoop. Everybody wants a Cinewhoop. And I know that, when I first had one, I did exactly that. I went to Banggood. I bought a Shendrone, or not a Shendrone. I bought a Green Hornet, Hornet, and it was a piece of shit. The regulator was bad to the VTX. I had nothing but problems with it. I ended up having to rebuild it entirely straight out of the gate. And then I get my Squirt, sent to me like 3 weeks later. I'm like, well, this is a different experience because everything just works out of the box the way it should. And it's primo. I don't fly it every day because it's a niche drone for me. Like I use it in certain situations when I'm around talent. But I think that if somebody's interested in one, there will be a link down below for Quad Stimmers Labs.
What's funny is we do sell some of those pre-owned stuff, or pre-owned, we do sell pre-owned stuff. I got used drones. I got new drones. No, we do actually sell, at times we sell some of the pre-built stuff. So like 85, 95Xs, just some of the stuff that, beginners may want and stuff like that. I actually have an order in for the new Pavo or whatever, just because we're getting so many 95 Naked X like requests that I just need something out the box that's going to work for people. Sure. Now, the crazy thing is, not crazy, but the thing is, we're not just going to sell you the sealed up iFlight box. We're going to take it out the box and we're going to still set it up, and we're going to go rip our own and go get our own tune for it and our own setup for it. And then we're going to dump over that and get it set up. So just like the Squirt worked out the box and it's tuned, ready to go, we're not going to sell you an iFlight like 95X without sticking our tune on it. So, anything you do get from us, even if it is those, pre-owns, those pre-builts, whatever they're pre-built, they're going to come that same way.
Gotcha. Well, man, Troy, I appreciate you coming on tonight, man. Guys, the website, www.quadstandardlabs.com. There will be a link below if you want to check it out. And if you want to invest in a Cinewhoop, my recommendation, the Squirt, that's my personal favorite. It's what I fly. Check it out. Link below, Quad Standard Labs. Troy, thank you so much, man, for coming on, chatting with me tonight, dude. I wish you all the best, brother.
You too, man. Thank you.
See you, buddy.
Bye.
See you. Cool guy, man. Paul, I can't hear you, Paul.
Helps if I turn my microphone off. Yeah, great guy, great company philosophy too. I like that. I like all that. Customer service is great.
Yeah, customer service is the king. And I think a lot of times when you start dealing with like Cinewhoops and you start dealing with drones just in general, having good customer service is super, super important to have, one, repeat customers, and then two, to have, a good performing product. I don't know why I was losing my mind. I'm typing and I'm losing my mind.
What happens? Yeah.
It's a shit show lately. I have no train of thought, but I think tonight was great, man. I was happy to be back. Drone Brews Wednesday nights. Why am I saying that? Like I'm plugging our own shit.
How many beers are you on?
Just two. So just two. So I will be next week. Next week I'm not sure if we'll do drone brews. I'm not sure. I'm flying back in on Tuesday morning. I'm taking the red eye flight back from Colorado. Yeah. So I'm glad I talked to Sean, because Sean tells me. So I said to him, I said, I'm leaving on Tuesday. He goes, well, what time are you leaving on Tuesday? I said, well, you got to drive me to the airport at 12 a.m. on Tuesday. And he goes, well, that's Monday. I said, no, that's Tuesday, Sean. And he goes, no, we got to leave on Monday to get you there by 12 a.m. Tuesday. And I sat back and I thought about it, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm leaving on Monday night, which is Tuesday morning, because I'm taking the red eye back.
I hate the red eye.
It is the worst, but I like the red eye because I sleep. I usually pass out.
I can't sleep. I just, I wish I could.
You know what helps you, Paul? Some edibles.
Plus, I snore, so people like, dude, shut this guy up.
Nah, I don't care. The flight's gonna be so empty. The red eye flights are empty as shit, dude. I had one flight coming back from Vegas one time. It was a red eye flight on Frontier. It was packed to the brim, and sitting next to me was these hipsters. I swear to Christ, it looked like they were wearing tents. And they were sitting next to me, and I, of course, the one time I choose the window seat, I had to piss so bad mid-flight. And I woke up. I'm like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. And I was like literally trying to climb over these hipsters. And I'm just like, and they would not move. And I'm like, I'm going to literally piss on this lady. And she did not move. She did not move. Like, I'm literally kneeing her in the face. She did not move.
Wow.
Unfucking believable. Unbelievable.
Wow. Oof.
So
I'm actually not going to be here next week. I'm on vacation.
Well, that's great, Paul, because I am going to have a special guest host. Then I'm going to hire a special guest host. Oh, I can have a special guest host. You know what I will do, Paul? I'm going to hire even, you know what? I know I can get a host.
You're going to hire? Wow.
I will hire a host. And I say hire. Paul, when I say I'm going to hire somebody.
Yeah, we know what you're hiring is like.
Hey. But no, I'm gonna hire a host. We're gonna canvas. I'll post it this week. I'll say who wants to be the host of Drone Brews next week.
You and I are gonna switch places. You're gonna look like you're tired Paul over there on the stream, and you're gonna find somebody crazier than you are.
I feel pretty tired though lately. Like I said, been going to sleep 3 o'clock every day. My wife's growing very, very thin on patience. Yeah, she's not very happy with me lately because I will be up 3D printing shit until like 3 a.m, packing stuff up. By the way, big thank you to everybody who's checked out our store. It's www.originaldobostore.com. If you've placed an order, I hope it's gotten to you on time. I hope you got your stickers, your Smarties, your whatever. I just try to put all the shit in there. I've been just like
Smarties now.
Yeah,
wow.
Dude, people order like one thing and I'm like, no. I'm not going to just ship you one thing. I'm going to ship you all the things. And I just put random shit in these bags. Now, I found out you can't do that to Canada because Canada will make them pay a tariff on what you spend. Like, you got to pay like an import fee on everything that's in the bag.
Oh, man.
I don't get it.
So you get candy in there? You get an import fee?
Mike I did see Unbox Warehouse did pay a $50, $49.99 because he did it from his iPhone. Lazy bastard. A $50 sticker. That's my payment from being in his video. I think I was in a video with him. Did you know?
Mike you can charge for that now.
Mike has a security guard. His name is Daryl. Did you see him?
Daryl looks like a freaking
Daryl looks like he can mess some shit up, dude.
I told Mike that on the phone the other day. I said,
he's
the guy looks like he's gonna be guarding the clubhouse. You know,
Mike doesn't go out unless he has a security guard. He doesn't go out. I don't know. He's a very interesting guy. When you meet him in person, he leads himself to believe like he's like this everyday sort of dad type of yo-yo. But then you get in person, he's like, hey, man. Hey, Unbox Warehouse.
Oh, let me lift this big old arm that I have. You know how I got this?
Unbox. He's over on the beach. He's over on the beach. He's on the beach, dude. He's like this on the towel, like, laying like sideways, like he's the washboard abs and shit. It's a mess. He's a mess.
Mike actually said earlier that he said he has a 600K channel that's going to be coming to visit him on Monday and Tuesday in Jacksonville, and he said you should come with him.
Oh yeah. Well, I won't be here Monday or Tuesday. I'll be deep in the snow. I'm going to be snowboarding with Oz. Now
Mike,
Monday night.
I will be in Jacksonville on Monday. We're going to the Jacksonville Aquarium on Monday on our way up to South Carolina. We're gonna.
You should visit Mike. You should stop by and visit Mike. It just takes you 5 minutes, and then he's going to talk to you, and then you're never going to leave.
Well, the problem is that's the problem. You run into Mike. It's not a short conversation. It ends up being a long one.
I got it. You know what I should do? Let me do this because I want to find out when we're doing this. Sean and I thought of a great idea. I just want to confirm with him.
Oh boy, let's hear this.
I want to confirm with Sean because I know he's going to do a special live stream.
Hello?
Hey, Sean, you're live.
What's up, everybody?
So question for you. I'm flying in on Friday, and then we're there Saturday, Sunday, and then I leave Monday. When are we doing our live stream where you're going to do the tattoo on me?
I told everybody that's going to be sort of either Saturday probably night.
Yeah, Saturday night. That's
Sunday
great.
Night.
No, let's do Saturday. Saturday night. We'll do Saturday night live at Sean Oz's.
I just don't want to tell everybody 100% Saturday, and then we're out like at Vail or we're down in some mining town and we can't get back in time.
No, we're going to make it
Saturday
happen.
or Sunday.
All right, Saturday or Sunday. Okay, I just wanted to double check. This is going to be great.
How's the show going?
It's good. It's good.
Shit, I didn't realize you were live, dude. I'll go jump in the chat. I've been editing all night.
Yeah, well, you should do that, Sean. People love Sean Oz. Signature Sean Oz battery covers live.
That was flattering.
Yeah, well, they're ice machines. You're welcome.
The weather's looking good. I think you're gonna have a great trip. You should get a lot of good content to bring back and share with your subscribers.
All righty, man. Well, I'll see you in a couple of days.
Sounds good. I'll see you in the chat.
Bye. So I'm gonna let him do a tattoo on me live.
Whoa.
Yes. So I'm doing the Dobo logo, and I'm going to do it like right under here. Like I want it like right under here so I can see it on the back of the arm. Like I'll never see it, but I'm going to put it right here. Now, this is probably going to be a very painful spot because it's very tender.
Ooh.
It feels tender, but it's going to be an awkward position. So we're going to do it live. He's going to do his live stream, and I'm going to let him tattoo me. I've already cleared it. I've already cleared it with the wife. I told her, I said, I'm letting Sean do a tattoo. Is that okay? She looked at me and said, this is how you ask me? So it's going to happen. I'm doing it. I'm letting him do it.
That guy did a good job with your logo. I got to give that guy.
Oh, he did an amazing job. It's an amazing job. I love it. I love the logo, the new look, the new logo. It's everything. So, it's going to hurt like a motherfucker, but I am really excited to finally get another tattoo. It's been, I think, almost 7 years since I've had a tattoo.
I've never had one. Is it gonna be full color?
I think I'm gonna let him do full color. I want to do a full color tattoo. I like color, man. I'm a colorful person. I want color, and I think this is the perfect logo.
Person, yeah.
It's a perfect logo. So we'll let it do it. We're gonna do it. So we're gonna get it done. But ladies and gentlemen, that's the show. It's 10:44. What a great show. Thank you to Quad Standard Labs. Thank you for producer Paul for doing all the graphics all the time. He's just he's a good guy. Producer Paul making the graphics. In 2 weeks, we're going to be debuting season 2 of Drone Brews. We're going to revamp all this shit, so it'll be entirely new. Season 2, 2 weeks. Paul, that's how long we have to figure out what we're going to change.
All right.
3 weeks. We'll make it 3 weeks. We'll make it 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
Yeah, you might want to give me 3 more times. Otherwise, I'll probably work on it.
4 weeks. We'll do it 4 weeks. Season 2. 4 weeks. Season 2.
Hype up season 2.
Season 2 of Drone Brews. But I'm excited. I've drank 3 of these, 2 of these. I don't even know. It's hot as shit in here. I'm sweating my balls off. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me. Did I miss anything, Paul? Did we miss anything or no? I don't think so. I think it was a great show. I think it was really informative. If you made it this far, thank you. If you didn't, thank you. And we'll see you next time. Stay original.
I want you, I need you. You got me right where you want me, baby.
What the heck, man? What the heck? Seriously?
I want you.
What are you doing to me? I'm gonna have to take over this. Where is this dang button? Where is it? Come on, freaking heck! Why do you do this all the time?
I want you. I need you. You got me right where you want me, baby.
Paul, is it weird that Yoda has better white balance than you? Oh, there's this beautiful Sony focus. Can't focus. Paul, can you sing for me, Paul? Paul, sing me a lullaby, Paul. I'm feeling buzzed. No, sing into the mic, Paul. Sing me great. Sing me some sweet nothings, Paul. Sing me sweet nothings.
Sweet nothings.
You know what, Paul? I meant to tell you. I wanted to do. You know what, Paul? Can we read some mean comments, Paul? Let's read some mean comments today.
I'm ready for mean. You have a lot of mean comments.
Boy, I got some mean comments lately, Paul. I want to read some mean comments, Paul.
Yeah,
I want to read some mean comments and address some assholes.
Yeah.
Let's see. I've deleted some of them because they were really bad, Paul. They were really bad. I don't know. There's so many fucking stupid comments lately. Fuck them anyways. The best one I get a lot of is, why do you wear your hat backwards? Because I want to wear my hat backwards. It's because I fly FPV and the goggles don't fit with the hat forward, so I wear my hat backwards. It's my hat. If it bothers you that much, find a different channel.
I wear it both ways. It depends on what I'm feeling. If I want to show the Sony, or if I want to show the Sony. I mean, I don't know. I wear it both ways.
You know what? Let me look at the comments held for review. That's usually a great way to do that, to get really riled up. People rile me up. Like, I read this. I don't know why it blocks a lot of these comments. So some comments get blocked. I don't know. Some of them are good, some are bad, but honestly, I don't like most of these, like some of these assholes. They're just assholes, Paul.
Yeah.
They're just assholes. Okay. I'm reading their comments right here. I'm reading their comments and I'm basically telling them to go fuck themselves. Like, what I would like them to do is to take a pine cone, and with the rough end of the pine cone, like the rough end of the pine cone, and I want them to stick that pine cone straight up their fucking.
I want you. I need you. You got me right where you want me, baby. Ooh, yeah. And who knew what you do? Could stop me cold in my tracks, yeah. Why don't you get up?
All right, fine. I'm doing it. I'm not wearing a hat right now. You see this? I'm not wearing the freaking hat. Okay?
Paul, are you bald?
My wife says I'm going bald, and that's why
I think it's a widow's peak, Paul.
it's a widow's peak.
Paul, I just called you Paul. Let me take my hat off, Paul, so you can see if I'm balding, Paul. Am I balding?
No,
Nope, I'm not. I don't think I'm balding, Paul. Is that
behind
dandruff?
my head.
I have some sexy hair, Paul. Is that sexy hair, Paul, or what?
Oh,
What is happening right now? Why is the end of this show such a shit show, Paul?
What?
I don't know, Paul.
It's not. Don't talk that way.
Baby, it's
You know,
you. It's you, Paul. It's so.
We have
Do
a
you want to do
baby in the
karaoke
house.
one night, Paul? Do we want to
We
do
have a baby in
karaoke?
the house.
Paul, you want to do karaoke, Paul? People are
Yeah.
watching the show right now and they're probably saying to themselves, why the fuck am I still here? Who is this Dobo guy? Who is this Paul guy? What does he even have to do with drones? He doesn't even fly.
He does too fly. It's
He
not.
sits on the toilet way too long in the mornings. He watches every single channel and he talks about LED lights more than he normally should. I don't know. Paul, no, Paul, your white balance. All right, never mind. All right, fuck it. I'm done. Paul, you done?
Yeah, my wife's gonna probably kill me if I'm.
Yeah, my wife's going to kill me too. All right, Paul.
Theme of the night.
See ya.
Bye.